Hello, welcome back to Real Opinions. Today we are in a pop-up studio. We're not recording in a public bathroom, we swear. Today we and Harrison are here against the odds to bring you the review of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's latest blockbuster epic, San Andreas. Do you want to go with the plot?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is a...
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You need the...
Dwayne is a helicopter pilot-y saving
I love how you're on a
people.
first name basis with it.
Is a helicopter flying savey people man.
An emergency responder.
Yes. Meanwhile, Paul Giamatti is a earthquake predictor man. A
Seism-
scientist.
A seismologist.
Oh, he's not a seismologist. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He predicts earthquakes.
Science words.
Yes, he's a seismologist, and he goes around saying, like, we can predict earthquakes, and then he predicts an earthquake after an earthquake happens. He predicts a big super earthquake in San Andreas, and then...
But on the San Andreas fault, it's in California.
Yeah. And don't get like that with me. And so the Rock goes around saving people, and then he goes, screw it, and decides to go save his daughter and wife instead of doing his job. Well,
Now, can we get back to Paul Giamatti? Because Paul Giamatti is probably the best thing about this film.
he's my favourite thing about it.
He's my favourite thing. He feels like he's better than the film, but at the same time, it's
Worse. He's the worst part and the best part.
Yeah, well, it's because as an actor, he is far better than the quality of this film. He's an incredible actor. But here, he just feels like he's just phoning it in.
Oh, there is one bit where he is explaining the science of something. And, like, I know it's a thing that people always say, like, oh, it looks like they're just making it up as they go along, or like they don't really understand the science they're saying. No, he really looks like he's like, it looks like the character doesn't even understand the things he's saying.
He's like drawing a map. He's drawing a line on a map, and it's literally like he's just connecting dots and going, this must go here, and this go here.
Really...
And he's kind of making up facts.
Yeah.
He's like, this
But
must
even then-
go here. Yes,
but
yes,
even
now
at the
this
end of it,
is
he
fact.
doesn't sound that certain.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be an earthquake, maybe.
But like we said
And then
before,
colours in all of America and goes somewhere here. Science.
Logan was saying before as well, it feels like his whole job is to be predicting these earthquakes.
That he
And
predicts
he's-
after the
he's
ground is split open and
Exactly.
everything's shaking and buildings are falling down. I think there's an earthquake here.
But the only way they predict him is the ground starts shaking. They all hide under tape. This happens like three separate occasions. They all sit in this office the whole film. Something shakes. He hides under a table. Everyone looks at laptops and goes, "There's another earthquake," and they all go,
No shit, I can say that. It's fucking
Exactly.
shaking and
That's
the
all they
ground
do.
split open. I
That's
know
all they
there's an
do.
earthquake, yeah.
That's all they do. And then they go on the news being like, "There are earthquakes," and everyone's like dodging falling buildings, going like, "No shit."
They also act as if like people aren't believing them, but we never really get any evidence. That
Exactly. There's no reaction shots of people watching the news going, no earthquake would ever happen. All this shaking, it's just a really big party happening
I
down
think
the street. It's one of those kind of, it's majestically shit. It's not just shit. It's
like,
shit because...
it doesn't jump the shark, but it feels like it could never jump. It's permanently been jumping the shark. So when does it jump the shark?
Jumping the shark becomes normal for it, so it feels like it has
so
to
there's
jump.
never
It has to jump a mega shark.
the most casual apocalypse in the
Exactly.
history.
He's kind of
The
like
way that-
flying along.
Just like
And then-
looks out the window and just a freeway collapses in the most nonchalant
And he's
kind
just
of
like,
way.
"Oh."
Where it's just sort of goes, nah.
Oh, 10
And
people probably died.
And no one reacts. There's no point where anyone goes like, "Oh my god!" It's just sort of like that skyscraper
And
fell down.
that's basically the whole film, isn't
Yeah.
it? There are literally entire... San Francisco gets completely leveled in this
Yeah.
film. Everyone that lives in San Francisco, I mean, I'm talking probably, 10% escaped, maybe?
Yeah.
The rest of those people died horrible deaths. We are talking, right, there's an old, it's a Team America joke, isn't it? It's like 9/11 times a billion.
Yeah.
This is 9/11 times a billion.
Yeah.
Literally, so many, there are literally buildings collapsing everywhere, giant tidal waves, tens of millions of people that are killed, and no one gives a shit.
Not only do they not give a shit, but they're actually making puns the next second. There's a bit where they do, they parachute.
They make an
safety.
advert for skydiving.
Yeah, they skydive and they parachute. This is the Rock and his estranged wife. They parachute and then they land, and he says, what are his exact words? I never thought I'd get you to second base again or something. And that's just after millions of people have just died. But like, they're gliding, whooping and going like, woo, it's so fun. Millions of people are dying below them. It's a really dark scene. Just these people like, don't give a shit.
No.
Don't give a shit. All the death, there's probably children.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson feels like...
is doing what he does.
Well, no, that's the thing. He's not doing what he does. If you
Oh.
see him in, you haven't seen Fast and Furious, have you?
No.
When you see him in
Thanks
Fast and
for
Furious,
showing me up
he
on
is.
camera.
When you
What's the
see,
bit? You haven't seen Schindler's List, have you?
no, I haven't.
But you've seen Fast and the Furious.
Yes. Dwayne The Rock, when you see him in Fast and Furious and films like that, those kind of action films he's in, and Welcome to the Jungle, which was called The Rundown in America, I don't know why
Yeah.
they changed the title. He's really great in those films
Seen
because
Fast.
he's just kind of, and that, he's just kind of ridiculous
Race
and
to
kind
Witch
of...
Mountain.
Alright! Don't make me hit you with something. But
G.I. Joe
he's kind of... Like, G.I. Joe 2 is actually a really good example. Because he's really like, ridiculous in those films. And he just embraces how ridiculous and kind of fun he is. And he just goes around like punching people in the face and being like, yeah, cheesy one-liner. He's like a modern day Schwarzenegger. See, when you see him in this, he just feels like there's not enough of that. It feels like he spends the whole time looking for things. So they never really focus on...
He is mainly just in the helicopter.
Yeah, he doesn't really
driving
do anything spectacular.
In The Rock's daughter.
Played by Alexandra Daddario from True Detective. She's, again, fine. There's nothing particularly exceptional
But the
about her.
cameras...
She's
just
entirely
like
functional.
Any excuse to just get her wet. As in...
Any excuse for that,
like,
or to show off her
flooded-
cleavage,
yeah,
or to show
as
her in
in,
a bikini.
That's what I meant.
Literally,
To get her clothes
introduction.
wet.
Her introduction is her sitting by a swimming pool.
Yeah.
For no reason.
There's
There is no reason
there's
for
a
her to
whole
be sat by a
act
swimming pool.
of the film where like she's wading through water and the camera's just like it's not even pretending not to
No.
be. It's just there.
Should we go to ratings?
Yeah, I guess I'd go with it. Objectively, it's bad, but we did laugh. We had a good time, and I've seen Monsters Dark Continent and Poltergeist and those things recently that were properly like tasks to get through. So I'm gonna go with a 6 because I actually was able to enjoy it this year.
I think it is fun, but I think it's also really flawed as well.
Yeah,
Because,
it's like, that's why I didn't say 10
it's-
out of 10.
No,
then
no,
I
no,
said
no. I
6.
know. But at the same time, I feel like if a film, because this is objectively bad.
Yeah.
And I think for a film to be, for a film to get a decent grade and for it to be bad, it has to be less flawed than this. If you know what I mean. It has to be, because I mean I did have fun with it, but at the same time there were parts where I was just really frustrated with the directions it was going in. Diving through
Right,
lakes
5.
more and 5.
5.
There you go. I'm gonna go with a 4.
Okay.
I was thinking about 5, but I think I'm going to go with the 4 now, thinking about how frustrated I was at times.